Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy Reeves, head blender of Cornell & Deal Pipe Tobacco Company, and today for this episode of Cornell & Deal's Tobacco Selections, we're going to be talking about a really interesting Oriental tobacco, and that is Katerini. Now, Orientals, we've talked about before, are sun-cured tobaccos that come from areas previously part of the Ottoman Empire. So Katerini actually comes from Greece, and it is like all Orientals, it is a small leaf tobacco. Although Katerini, I've noticed sometimes you'll find slightly larger leaves than many of the other Oriental types. It has a unique sort of allspice kind of flavor to it. It has a subtle sort of tanginess, a subtle honeyed kind of sweetness to it, but it really interacts nicely with your nose and with your sinuses when you smoke it. You become aware of more than just what is going on in your mouth, but you become more aware, or at least I certainly find myself becoming more aware of the interaction between the flavors dancing across my tongue and the interaction of those flavors with my nose, with my nasal cavity. It can have a little fruity flavor with heavier puffing. With very light puffing, it is more like green tea with a slice of lemon and maybe some allspice or cardamom. But it definitely has a unique flavor profile, and it's a lot of fun to use in a blend. I particularly like Katerini alongside Virginias. Virginia Orientals are among my favorite flavor combinations. It really works well with Perique. Since it already has a sort of natural honeyed kind of flavor, it can be sort of bolstered in a blend by adding a small amount of honey casing to the whole blend. And so that's an approach that I've used a couple of times, most notably probably in Bijou, that I think really showcases the Katerini nicely against a old vintage 2003 Red Virginia, and a really nice honey casing that ties it all together. The Red Virginias are steamed in that blend, and then the Katerini is unsteamed, added at the end after the leaf is dried back down, and it's all pressed into a flake. And I think it's a beautiful blend. Personally, I enjoy it quite a bit, and it cellars beautifully as well. But Katerini has danced really nicely alongside other Orientals in blends like Joie de Vivre, and works really well with Latakia. It makes its presence known in a very subtle way in a blend like Oak Alley that is predominantly a burley blend, but with a little of the Katerini and a little Perique pressed into a crumble cake, and just a very, very small amount of Red Virginia. So really the Katerini and the Red Virginia offer some sweetness. The Katerini offers up that allspice sort of flavor, and in that blend I get almost a sense that there's maybe apple cider going on a little bit. And then with Gwendolos, I actually paired Katerini with cigar leaf, and that too is a really fun Virginia forward blend with some cigar leaf and some Katerini for nuance and spice. So Katerini, pretty rare tobacco to be able to find, particularly these days. But we have a decent stash of it, and it's all from the 2006 crop, and we've not seen any available since that time. So we'll continue to parse this out as we see fit in the blends that really demand it, so that we can swing onto that stock for a good long time. I hope this has kind of interested you in wanting to go out and try some blends that have catarini in them. Unfortunately, we can't sell catarini in bulk along with our other blending components, but if you find that you like a particular blend that does have catarini, then you can start using Oriental, such as the Turkish Izmir that we sell in bulk, alongside other blending components to try and replicate that flavor profile. And that might be a fun blending experiment for some of you to do. So I hope this has been educational, and we'll see you next time on Cornell & Deal's Tobacco Selections. Bye, guys.